Hi, it's Marshall with the Restaurant Association of Maryland, and I want to welcome you to this week's segment where we're going to be talking about the World Food Championships. And we have about 9 people from the state of Maryland who are going to be competing this year. And with us, we've got Jonathan Hicks. He is going to be competing in seafood, and he's been competing for a while and doing somewhat of a veteran with the World Food Championships. So Jonathan, I believe you're a Johnson and Wales guy, right? So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your culinary experience?
Yes, I am. I'm definitely a Johnson& Wales University grad, Providence campus. That's the best campus. Um, I've been cooking in the New England area for about 7 years. Finally came home to Maryland, and it's just been a roller coaster ride since. Been in a lot of good restaurants around the area. From Barateca, I was the opening chef for Cosima at Mill Number One. I've worked up at the local, which is this year's best new restaurant. So I've been around town a bit, been exposed to a lot of things. I'm gearing up for a new venture right now, but right now my focus is on Dallas right now.
Yep, and here's what's going to be going on in Dallas. It's coming up. We're just so everyone knows we're recording this in advance. Normally, we like to do these things live from time to time, but you're going to be traveling to Dallas for the World Food Championships. And this is a culinary competition unlike any other. They pull in people, hundreds of people from all across the world. And it's unique in that you could have culinary trained chefs competing against someone who's just a great cook at home, someone that does a great barbecue for their restaurant versus somebody that just slings it in the backyard. So it's one of these competitions that you can't just sign up to compete in. You have to win a regional qualifier or an event somewhere across the country. And Jonathan, you've competed in lots of our events, why do you compete? What do you like about it so much that you just keep coming back and winning our qualifiers, to be quite frank?
For me, I compete because I naturally just have always been a competitive person from basketball to video games. I mean, it pretty much like whatever we're doing, we can turn it into a competition. And competing food sport wise, it forces you to think different ways. You'll access different creative zones you didn't pay attention to. It makes my everyday work a lot easier because I get to express myself in such a great way, from time to time with all of these battles. Personally, I think that I have the success that I have on the battle scene because I don't look at it as a fight between me and 10 other chefs. It's more so my opportunity to have a conversation with the judges and make sure they remember me more than anybody else. So for me, when I battle, it doesn't matter who's next to me, who's there to compete that event. None of that matters to me because it's really not about you guys. It's literally my conversation with those chefs, with those judges, and my opportunity to make sure that they remember me more so than the guy next to me. And I find like that has helped me out a lot as I've battled throughout my career.
So sorry, we had a little hiccup there in the audio, but Jonathan, think back to the first year you competed in the World Food Championships, and certainly you had to be nervous, right? Yeah, I know you want to focus on yourself, but when you see all these other people around you and all these great chefs and all the hoopla that goes along, you really had to be nervous, right? Tell us about your first year
Oh,
competing.
the first year, the first year was just super eye opening. Like I didn't really go into the first year with the expectation of winning my first shot out. It was more so of finding out how everything operates, how it works. And for it to be such a major competition, there's so much teamwork and camaraderie. Like people helped me and guided me to find the products I needed to find. They helped you out the day of. It's not designed to see you fail even though it seems like it's such a big competition with the prizes that it has and things of that nature, like it would be super cutthroat, but it's such a family. Like so many people help you, you make so many contacts, you network so much, and you meet so many people that you see again and again the next year and the next year and the next year. My first year, I went by myself. I didn't take any help. I didn't have a lot of restaurant support. It was just kind of one of those things I took on my own. And while it was very eye opening and I learned a lot the first year, my third year in, now I have a team. Now I have a little more support. It just makes it easier, and you're not blown away by the sheer. It's very overwhelming the first time you're there. There's so many things going on. There's like 20 people competing in every round. That's 20 teams all around you. So many things to get distracted by, but you just kind of got to settle in, breathe. You made it. You won your way there, so you're already on the list. Just breathe and do what you do, and it'll be a great time.
So I'm going to throw up on the screen here for everybody just kind of a poster that talks about all the different categories that are going to be happening over the several days. And you're competing in seafood, right? So what
Yes,
are
sir.
you and your team putting together? Because I'm sure, like you said, you've done this a couple times. You'd really like to win it big this time, right? And get all the way to
Yes.
the end. So what's the plan? What are you working on?
So we've taken the catfish dish that has had us success. We won last year with the catfish dish to go to World Food Championships. This year we changed it up a little bit. We won again. So now we've literally spent the last 30 days just refining it and getting it, for lack of a better word, perfect. But we have it right where we want it to be, zeroed in and locked in. So I think we should have a good showing in the first round. And then we have three separate recipes ready to go should we make it to the second round for seafood. And basically, when we get to the shops in Dallas, we will kind of let the food speak to us. But we have three solid recipes for the second round of the seafood battle, should we be blessed enough to make it.
Yeah, that sounds great. And I'm going to throw it out there, just a plug for Maryland Seafood. They were the sponsors of the catfish qualifier that we had here in Maryland, and that enabled Jonathan to work his way up to the World Food Championships. So thank you to them. And at this point, it's just get your prep ready and see if you can make it happen. You guys are going to be traveling soon, so I really appreciate you, Jonathan, you taking some time to talk to us today, and what it's all about to compete. And for that chef or for that home cook that's out there thinking, I don't know if I could do something like this. I'm kind of interested in it. I see it on TV and it looks great, but I just don't know. What do you say to encourage them to go ahead and do it?
Put yourself out there. It's not about the win or the loss. It's the experience. Before I really started getting on a winning track, the experiences I got from all of the battles, helped me career wise along the way. Time management, how to focus in chaos, how to keep things straight, how to do more than one thing at the same time. Like all of those things factor into the battle. And as you get more comfortable with it, it makes it easier in your everyday, in your daily life. But don't be so hung up on the thought of winning and or losing. Sometimes putting yourself out there will open up the door for something else. Because I have been battling for Ram for so long, a lot of doors is open for me, and I've got to do a lot of things that I never thought or only dreamed of doing. And it just comes from taking that step and putting yourself out there. It's always awesome to win. It's better to experience something that can kind of help shape you and push you in a new direction.
Well said. Actually, perfectly said. Perfectly said. We talk to people all the time at the competitions that are qualifiers just for the first time, and they learn so much, and they just want to come back. So, very well said. So, good luck to you, Jonathan. Good luck to the 8 other Team Maryland members who are going to be heading down to Dallas to compete, and we're looking forward to some great news. And I appreciate you being on with us today.
Absolutely, no problem.
All right, you take care, and thanks everybody. We'll see you next week with our next topic in our next segment.